So I had a few discussions with some of my friends about this J.Cole controversy. He put out a record, Snow on the Bluff, which people are saying is a response to No Name's tweets. And the controversy lies between black women feeling like they aren't heard and black men feeling, I don't know what we're feeling. Honestly, um, I think the message of J. Cole's record is overall actually kind of true. Here's why it's true. J. Cole is a rapper. J. Cole talks about a lot of things that are important to the black community because he is a black man and that's what interests him and that's what is reflected in his art and he has a right to do that. But that does not make him a de facto leader. Just because someone has a large platform, especially as an artist, doesn't make them a leader. Dave Chappelle spoke about this in his 846 special, that celebrities aren't the people we need to be hearing from right now during this time. Artists aren't necessarily people we need to be hearing from. Of course, we have a space where we can be heard and we have a role that we can play. But when you're talking about leading a struggle and leading change, the people that are doing that are activists. They do this every day. There are activists that work every day on these things. They create legislation, they create coalitions, they create organizations, and they go to work and do that. And that's who we need to be highlighting and listening to and talking to and building this movement around. And I think that's kind of what J. Cole was talking about. He feels like he's not doing enough because of how people look at him, right? But the problem with what he said is he's talking about how he received a message from black women or a black woman. And that is a problem. That's a larger problem that we as black men have to stop doing. We have to stop this. Listen, on so many fronts, we have let our black women down. And this has been due to, systemic racism and injustice in a lot of ways. But it's still true. There's nothing that we can do about the past, but from here on out, we have to do better. We have to do better. And that starts with listening. Black women are asking us to do better. They're asking us to not be so hard-headed, not be so stubborn, not be so stuck in our ways, and just hear them. Just hear what the message is. When you mention tone in reference to when black women speak, you're reiterating the message that white society has put on black women forever. Black women aren't allowed to speak up because then they're angry or disruptive or difficult. And when you say that it's the tone or how the message is delivered, of course, it might rub you the wrong way, but sometimes you just got to eat that. Sometimes we just got to eat that. And putting out a song, I don't think is the best way to get that message across. I think he could have, if that was a direct thing with No Name, I think he could have did that in a better way. And I think he's smart enough to recognize that, and I think he'll probably understand that this was a mistake. Now, the overall song was not a mistake. He's right. He does have a lot of growth to do. We all do. I have a lot of growth to do. I'm not on some higher platform. I made a lot of mistakes as well. But I want us as black men to start owning our mistakes and to start bridging the gap with black women. They're on the front lines with us. They always stand up for us. And we have got to do the same for them. And that starts with listening to them. And one thing that I hope comes from this conversation is it's like, instead of building that wall up and confronting them about this song, no one's trying to cancel J. Cole. They just want us to be better, and this is another example of that. This is another example of how even in a song, in an art form, in a conversation that is really could have been A to B, it becomes amplified because of our egos. So let's do better. With a lot of these revelations and these conversations, people are going to find out that things that they've done have not been the right way. And this is pretty much everybody, right? Like, when you hear things, you might want to become defensive, but it's not for you to become defensive. It's about you becoming a better person. It's about us becoming a better community. And in order for us to really make the changes that we want to make for the future to be bright as black people, we're going to need everybody. We're going to need men, we're going to need women. And we have to come together and unite and get on the same page. And a lot of the onus of that falls on us as men. We have to start to bridge that gap. We have to get over these inconveniences or miscommunications. We have to get over these offenses to our ego. We have to stop that. and we have to come together with our women, elevate them, make sure their voices are heard, make sure that our agendas are aligned, and start to really build a future. And hopefully, this, you know, when this stuff blows over, it will help to build a better community. You know, hopefully that this song by J. Cole can ignite that, even if that wasn't the intention. You know, that's the interesting thing about art. When you make art, you never know exactly how it's going to affect people or how it's going to live in the world, and maybe that's what this will do. Um, yeah, so, you know, I want to end by saying there's a difference between activists and artists. They can live in the same body, but there are often two different things, and we need to remember that. Artists, just because an artist has a large platform does not make them an activist or make them knowledgeable about the subjects that they're talking about. And a lot of them know that, which is why they don't speak out on everything. And that's an okay thing. There are plenty of people who speak out about what we should be doing, how we should be doing it constantly. And those are the people that we need to seek out and find. And I think that's one of the things that J. Cole is trying to highlight. Now, this isn't a bash J. Cole session. I'm not saying we should cancel him. I don't think anybody's trying to cancel J. Cole. I would love to see J. Cole grow from this, continue to grow, continue to do the work that he's been doing, and continue to be the artist that he's become. Like, you know, it's great to watch. I love to watch the maturity of artists, and he's a great example of that. So, you know, I say this with much love to everybody. Let's drop our defenses for a second and work together. Let's really listen. Let's really listen to each other, and let's unite so that we can really make the changes we need to make.
Voom.